Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's ChrisXradio.
ChrisXradio. What we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink.
And now, your host.
I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Chris X.
Is snowpocalypse over yet? Is the snowpocalypse done? I'm not sure. Good afternoon and welcome to Chris X Radio here on AM 700. KSCV, the voice of Texas. I'm the aforementioned X-Man. Here, happy to have electricity. My power went out today. I had power yesterday, but we couldn't get to the station because of the snowpocalypse. But then the snowpocalypse ended yesterday, and then the icepocalypse came in, which was a new ice age, and that was today. But then my power went out. You guys know I can remote broadcast from Studio X. So I went up to the station and hung out with Captain Jack till my power came back on. So here we go. Did you guys make it? You guys okay? Did you guys get a lot of snow? I got like 3-4 inches of snow at the house. That was kind of cool. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm the aforementioned X-Man along with Captain Jack, who has once again assumed control of the airwaves. He will maintain control of these airwaves for the next 2 hours as, of course, we come bearing a gift beyond price that is almost free, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the spirit of talk radio. Here in the new ice age, it was a short ice age. You know, Donald Trump apparently, he fixed global warming day one, at least in Texas. In Louisiana, Florida, man, that storm that kind of blew over the whole Gulf Coast, I guess. And then he changed. You know, it's hilarious, by the way. I love the fact that the people who started calling men women are somehow upset Donald Trump wants to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. I think that's hilarious to me. I mean, just rich. Yeah. Anywho. Glad to have you here with us on your Trump Day edition of the program. I told you guys, used to be Hump Day, now it's Trump Day, and it's going to be a very fine Trump Day, okay? Donald Trump is not playing around. He got to work. How many executive orders has he signed already? 1,500? Oh, no, that was just the amount of people that he released the Jan 6ers. Which I want to get your take on that. What do you think about it? Wasn't blanket. Apparently they did review them, some of them at least. But not everybody has been pardoned yet or had their sentences commuted. But Donald Trump did that. He also ended the 1965 executive order from Lyndon Johnson that really started affirmative action. He got rid of that because I couldn't agree more. There is no reason for affirmative action in this country anymore. It is stupidity. No, it's not. Let me rephrase that. There was a time where I believed that we needed it in this country. We do not now. It is utterly ridiculous and is nothing more than leftist propaganda because they use it as a tool to manipulate minorities in this country. If you have a job where you haven't worked with or for someone who's black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female. The last job I had before this one, I worked for a man, okay. Well, him and his wife both, actually, so it was both. But then before that, I worked for, I worked at a company that was, okay, a guy there. So, and then before that, I worked for a woman. Had 2 jobs before that where I worked for women. I've worked every single job I've ever had. I have worked with, either Hispanic, African Americans, black people, Asian, all of the above, including now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous watching a situation, especially now, where you're watching, they're like, okay, look, man, this affirmative action we got to have. And they're going talking to people who make 10 times more money than I do. Now, I know that's anecdotal, but the point is, it's what? Oh, also Donald Trump, by the way, decided he wants to get rid of birthright citizenship, which, by the way, shouldn't ever have existed in our country. That is a manipulation of something that was never intended to give illegals an incentive, people to come here and have children to be American citizens. That was not part of what it was designed for. But nonetheless, shocker, leftists abuse it. So there apparently are 22 states suing over the executive order to end birthright citizenship. Anyway, okay, so you had that. You had the woke bishop lecturing Trump. Oh, that's rich. You have to be careful because trans people are scared they're going to be murdered by... Is anybody going around murdering trans people right now? The only people I know that are murdering trans people are the criminals the Democrats are letting out of jails and letting out of prison and letting them go without ankle monitors that they check. People that have already committed heinous crimes and they're letting them go. Or illegals that they're allowing into our country and they're going and committing heinous crimes. That's the only one I can think of. And as we're talking right now, the House has passed the Lake and Riley Act, which is the first piece of legislation here in the new Congress. I want to go back to something. Oh, by the way, if you want to join us, I want to hear about your snowpocalypse or whatever. I want to hear what you think if you had an interesting snowpocalypse or the new ice age, which is today, which, by the way, it warmed up pretty well today out on the roads, but there are still overpasses and bridges that have ice on them. So if you're driving, still be careful. When I was driving earlier, I had some fool pass me on a bridge on the icy side, and they literally slid over almost into my lane because they were passing me on the bridge. I'm like, what are you people doing? It's people drive like morons, so be careful out there and don't let the morons crash into you. Oh man, can you tell I'm getting hungry? There's a commercial for looks like Olive Garden. Is that all? Man, I haven't been to OG in a while. I think I'm due for an Olive Garden trip. Anyway, so people be careful out there. So first and foremost that. But I want to hear your stories. If you did you get a whole lot of snow? You know, I pretty much did. I did yesterday. I went and drove around a tiny bit when the sun came out. The streets in front of my house never really got snow on them. Had snow on the driveway, but it melted off by noon or 1. And then but that being said, I wasn't going to drive very far, so I just kind of drove around the neighborhood. And then had electricity all yesterday, and then for some reason this morning about 11 it went out and came back, probably within the hour. So that occurred. But did you guys do okay? Did you keep your power? Clearly the grid did just fine. When I lost power, it's the neighborhood I'm in. Apparently, it can't go through any sort of storm without having to lose power, and it's not the grid. The grid apparently did very well. No issues with the grid. How did you guys fare so far through Icepocalypse and then, of course, the Snowpocalypse or the new Ice Age? We can call it whatever we want. 281-558-KSEV is the number, 281-558-5738. But I want to touch on this very quickly before we go to break, and then we'll start taking your calls at 281-558-KSEV. Okay, so I had a couple people calling in on Monday, and they were pissed. They were angry. I was like, when I was listening to Chris Salcedo and him yelling at us. Now, I know he's not yelling directly at us. He's just yelling, and we're the recipients of it. But that being said, people being furious. Guys, listen, there's plenty to get angry about. And somebody, I want to appreciate the person. I won't say their name because I don't know if they want to be named on the radio. But somebody let me know. They said, thank you so much for saying what you said, because I talked to somebody and they're like, if they don't do this, if they don't do, it's freaking day one. They were upset that Joe Biden pardoned people. He already pardoned more people than anybody else in history. Why are you upset by him continuing what he's already done? So there's that. 2, the guy's the most corrupt dude we've ever had. I get it. There's plenty to be upset about. Understand it was day one of the correction. This is the correction. Donald Trump is the correction. Now, is it going to be perfect? No, he's not. A good example, it's not his fault, was that woke bishop who was on The View today. What does that tell you? Okay? That'll tell you. Whoever missed that call, fired. Hey, listen, I know it's supposed to be church. We're all supposed to be here having a good time, thinking about the Lord. You're fired, okay? If God could come down here himself, he would have fired you. That woke woman bishop decided to lecture Donald Trump at church. Was it the day after he was sworn in or the day of? Whatever. Doesn't matter. It was utter woke. Exactly. She's preaching equality and preaching, like I said, the trans garbage. Trans people are scared. The only reason any trans person is scared in our society is because you leftist lying dirtbags like her are running around telling them their life's in danger because many trans people and gay LGBT people, they voted for Donald Trump. You know why? Because they know he's better. And they're going to continue to lie. Just like the newest Nazi. Oh, my God. Did you guys see AOC's a Nazi? You didn't know? Captain Jack, you got to be upset that your girl is a Nazi. Oh, man, she's been given Nazi.
You're just picking on her because she's
been giving Nazi signs left and right.
Chris, she gives me a different sign when we warm up in this.
Oh, dear Lord, why did I go down this road?
Let me tell you what she did last night.
You know what? She's a Nazi, and you're hashtag me too. Okay, there you go. Anyway, okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, Elon Musk, he's a very awkward. Does he have Asperger's or is it he's autistic? He's obviously the richest man in the world. He went up and was clearly, whenever you watch him excited, he's like a little kid. He's got a bit of Pee Wee Herman going on in there, but obviously even smarter. But he went up to speak, and then he was, from his heart, from my heart to you guys, he threw his hand out towards the audience. He did it again on the other side, was telling his heart was with them for them voting for Trump and doing what they did. And the guy was clearly appreciative. And the leftist dirtbag clipped it and did what? And called him a Nazi. He's clearly a Nazi. So my favorite thing about the interwebs is now they've gone back, and every time you've got Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe, all of them doing the same thing with their hand. When you just clip a little clip, they're doing it. We've all seen them do it. Dr. Jill and many others. Oh, man, did you know Tampon Tim Walz? Man, he was the gayest Nazi I've ever seen. Oh, dude, he was jazz handing it up, his spirit fingers, and then boom, Nazi sign, Nazi. But it's kind of like watching what the media does. They take things out of context. They go grab other things and use it against the side they're against, which is the Republicans, which is Trump. Anything to do with Trump, Republican. They're all Nazis. Why? Because we got to push this and fool the fools. The people who still think the media is anything remotely resembling news or reality. No, they're liars. They're political propaganda for the Democrat cult. That is all they are, and that is what they do. So the point I was making is, earlier, tying in with all this, so, by the way, an AOC went on and said there's no defending it. Elon Musk is clearly a Nazi. And then libs of TikTok and other people went on and found AOC giving tons of Nazi signs. Oh, she did it all the time. No, she's just flailing her arms because she's a nitwit. And they said, see how this works? This is how this works now. They can't control all of the narrative anymore. So there you go. All of this sort of ties in with why I was saying don't be miserable. Don't be angry. Don't be mad. This is our problem on the right. We expect to win all the time. We expect people to do the right things. We expect things to be a certain way. And then when it happens, it is immediately disregarded. We could be talking about President Kamala Harris right now. You need to put that in perspective and understand how great it is that we aren't doing that. That should trump, yes, I'm using that term for a reason, any anger you have right now. Not that you shouldn't have it. You should. You should be motivated. You should be fired up. But you should be happy over all of the reconciliation, if you will, taking place. Did you see? Effing Millie, he's gone. White Rage Millie, boom. Hey, Millie, guess what? White Rage, you fired. Okay, you fired. Get out of here. Pack your stuff. Oh, hey, by the way, will you take this nice portrait of yourself with you? Trump is great. Don't be mad. You can't be angry right now. 2 months from now, tomorrow, the next day, whatever, give the man a little time. Look at what he is doing. He is doing everything he campaigned on doing. He's already made deals for, up to $3 trillion to come back into this country. All you clowns out there who said Donald Trump didn't do anything business, you just lied. That's all you're doing. You're espousing the talking points of the left to go through there and try to disregard anything that he did. There's a reason why the economy was so much better before, and it will be better again. He's already making deals. The guy went to work instantly. It's really, there's no way I can go over all of the good things that he did. First day, second day, he's not stopping. He is triggering hundreds, if not thousands, of lawsuits against him because of the way he's going after him, because that's how the left is. They never rest, folks. They are the radicals. We know that going in. Don't be angry. Know it's coming. You need to be happy right now. If you're not happy now, you will never be happy in your life ever when it comes to politics. Ever. You have to understand we are in a great period. It's the honeymoon period. Literally, I think it's Donald Trump and Melania's honeymoon today. And by the way, I've heard other people talking about her hat and what she was wearing. It was so 1930s gangsta style, which was great. The Babylon Bee posted Melania Trump was walking around going, hey, I see what you say there, compas. Talking like a 30s gangster. It was great. The Babylon Bee is awesome. The bureaucrats, the dirtbags, were overthrown on Monday. That's what the peaceful transition of power is all about, right? They're gone. They're not in charge anymore. I know they're still there. There's still parts. We got to deal with them. That's how Congress works. Got to understand that. But understand, Kamala and Joe are gone forever. Joe's gone forever. He's never... I hate to say this, you're only going to see a few snippets here or there, and then the next time will be when he passes away, because he's old and he's not healthy. And I don't mean that in a gleeful way. But he's gone. He's not in power. He is a dirtbag. He is a corruptocrat to the nth degree. The most corrupt president we have ever had in office. I will guarantee it. And if you have any doubt, he what did he do? He pardoned his whole family. He pardoned everybody you can think of. He pardoned his dirtbag criminal son after lying to the American people through the election to manipulate people to vote for him. Or, sorry, his vice president. And she may say that she's going to run in 2028. I don't see it happening. Kamala Harris, if the Democrats are dumb enough to go with her for a second round, they deserve everything they get. It is up to us to be the party of happiness, to be the party of joy. Do not let them steal your joy. This is a good time. This is a correction happening right now before our very eyes, and it is happening at a breakneck pace that is almost unfathomable. Understand, these are good times. This is going to be the golden 20s. Donald Trump is daddy's home, as they say. I can see him walking in the White House. Daddy's home. Okay. By the way, did you see the video of J.D. Vance? He'd never been to the Oval Office before, which I haven't either. But they found that out, and Speaker Johnson filmed it, said, all right, let's go. Let's show him the Oval Office. And they took him in, they filmed it as it was happening, which, by the way, J.D. Vance is quickly becoming my favorite politician. I literally want to post that picture of him at the debate. Remember when his eyes squinted when was it Tampon Tim said something as ridiculous as ever, and he just looked at the camera and gave that look? I want to post that picture everywhere. In fact, I want that to be his portrait, his vice presidential portrait, and I want that, if he becomes president, which if things go well, it'll be headed that direction, I want that to be his portrait, because that's the greatest picture ever. But that dude is smart, and he doesn't back down. Okay, I've gone way over. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back. We got Don in Ohio. I think this could be the former Manville Don. We'll come to him on the other side of the break. Let's take this break. We'll get more of your calls. Did you make it through Snowpocalypse? Are you making it through the second short ice age? 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. I hope if you're angry, that anger is draining from your body and going away. Be happy. This is a good time. Save that anger. You're going to have plenty of stuff to get angry about. And if you're angry about Democrats doing dirtbag things, what planet have you been living on for the last 25, 30 years? Longer. Oh, by the way, that anti-Trump bishop was great. She said, who's going to pick our crops? The Democrats are still the racist dirtbags. They're going to do everything they can to hang on to their new slaves. They used to say that about black people. Let's let them keep doing that. But this is a great song. 281-558-KSEV. I'm Chris X. We'll be right back. We'll go to the phones on the other side.
Chris X Radio. Texas born, Texas raised. The voice of Texas.
You know, just like I was saying, it is a new time in America. And it is time for us to stop giving our hard-earned dollars to people that don't like us, to the woke nature that uses money against everything that we believe in. Chris X here for Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative Christian wireless company. You ready to start supporting these companies that actually share your values and principles? Patriot Mobile is a good one to start with if you haven't. They donate a portion of every dollar they earn to organizations that, they care about. They fight for the things that we care about. They don't give money to woke organizations. They do it to conservative and Christian organizations. Last year alone, over $2.3 million. That's how much. They'll do more this year. Patriot Mobile gives you that alternative to those woke companies that don't like us, and they use our money against us to take away our rights and our freedoms. Patriot Mobile has exceptional coverage on the nation's best 4 and 5G networks. They use the same towers as the main carriers. They have plans that'll fit any budget. That includes multi-line users, so you can get phones and lines for the entire family for around half of what Woke Mobile is charging. Do you hear what I'm saying? Right now, go look at your bill, see what it is, and then go to patriotmobile.com/KSEV and look at the difference in the pricing. Why are you paying twice as much for the same service, if not better service, to a company that takes that extra money and uses it against you? They also have something called the Patriot Mobile One service, where you can have access to all 3 networks on a single device. You'll have the most reliable coverage anytime, anywhere. I don't know if anyone else has that. It's called the Patriot Mobile One service. Ask them about that. So when you switch to Patriot Mobile, you can save a whole lot of money. You can take away your support for the leftist progressive agendas of Big Mobile and add it to the conservative Christian causes of Patriot Mobile. A great company, provides a great service that's actually in line with your values and principles. They even offer great discounts for veterans and first responders. All right, switching is easy. Everybody's worried about switching. It's actually simple. You can do it right there at the website, patriotmobile.com/KSEV. That's patriotmobile.com/KSEV, or call them on their U.S.-based customer service line at 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. When you call them, use offer code KSEV for free activation and save even more money. Once again, that's patriotmobile.com/KSEV, or call them directly at 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT.
Hi, I'm Don Valentine with John Moore Services. There's an old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So true for homes. Houston homes are simply not built for the cold. Pipes can freeze, water heaters can burst, heating systems fail, especially if they're old. Protect your home with our plumbing and heating checkup and get our famous no breakdown guarantee. Be ready for winter with John Moore. 713-730-2525.
You know, where we go in life matters, and what we do matters, and we know that taking the wrong road won't produce the best outcomes. Hi, I'm Kathy with Baker Mortgage, and we want you to take the right path when it comes to your mortgage. You know, we live in a world of information overload, but always consider the source. And these are not generally going to be from your big bank or a random offer that comes across your screen. Remember, you're always going to get a better deal on one that you go looking for than one that comes looking for you. You need to deal with somebody who gives a you-know-what, whether or not you're happy in the end. At Baker Mortgage, we do it right. We haven't been around for 68 years because we're lucky. We don't sell CDs, insurance, or anything else. We just provide a great mortgage experience. Isn't that what you're looking for? Call us at Baker Mortgage. I promise you'll be glad you did. We're at 281-313-MOVE, or go directly to bakermortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. License number 263213.
Let's be honest. No one ever thinks about their garage until it stops working. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage is noisy or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repairs. Recommended all over Houston, Garage Door Doctor is your trusted partner for all your garage door needs. Let the experts at Garage Door Doctor tune up your garage door and keep it running for a lifetime. Schedule an appointment today at garagedoordoctor.biz or call today.
At O'Hare & Company Real Estate, we believe there are people in our country and other countries that are trying to chip away at our freedom. We are taking a stand against the tyranny that is happening and want to protect what our veterans and forefathers have fought and died for. Texans are independent thinkers, self-reliant, and bold. If you want a real estate company that has a backbone, give us a call at 281-373-3393. Again, that's 281-373-3393, or look us up on the web at o'harare.com. O'Hare & Company Real Estate backs our patriots, veterans, and first responders. We are proud to stand up for what we believe in, so give us a call at 281-373-3393. Again, 281-373-3393, or look us up on the web at o'harare.com. As William Wallace said in Braveheart, they can take away our lives, but they will never take away our freedom. God bless America, and God bless Texas.
And now, back to Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio on the Voice of Texas.
You know, they should have called it the storm, they called it Enzo. They should have called it Godzilla. I would have liked that better. Welcome back to Chris X Radio here on your live. I guess we're on the waning end of the new ice age. It was a very short ice age, a very short new one. So, but nonetheless, it's a new ice age. Speaking of ice, 308 illegals on Trump's first day were arrested. So Donald Trump, how dare he go about doing what he claimed he was going to do? Well, he's doing it. He's doing a lot. All right, welcome back to the program. If you want to join us, we are live here as the ice is slowly melting off. But if you heard Captain Jack, there are still icy spots out there. Don't go running around on the roads thinking, oh, everything's back to normal. It's not. The only thing normal is how stupid people drive. And we've got a lot of stupid drivers out there. I experienced a couple earlier today. So be very careful when you're out on those roads because it is it's a little slippery. Now, it's drying off. A lot of the areas are dry and good, but overpasses, bridges, certain areas, there is still ice and still snow on the ground. I've still got a little bit of snow in the yard and around. It's not all melted off yet. But the good thing is yesterday was sunny in the afternoon. It's sunny right now, 47 degrees in my area. So it warmed up pretty well, and that's making things a lot better. But you got to be very careful if you're going out on the roads. There are ice, and like I said, you got to deal with the black ice. And then tonight it's supposed to get down to freezing again. I don't know what time. Let me go. I was looking earlier, but let's go back. Oh, wait, man, it says it's 44 degrees in my area. Is it already cooling off? I think it may be. Yeah, it's going to get back down to freezing between 10 and 11 tonight, they say. So anything that is wet on the roads will start freezing at that point. Doesn't take much to freeze it right now because everything's still pretty cold. But thank God we've had this nice sunny weather to allow things to warm up a bit. All right, tell you what, let's get a phone call here, and then we'll take a break because I went way over in that first segment. Let's go to Don listening in Ohio. Don, thank you for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Hey, Chris. Thank you for taking my call, my man.
It's good to hear from you, Don. I guess you probably have your own version of the snowpocalypse up there in Ohio.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, last time I talked to you was on December 12th, and we were supposed to have a wind chill of 0 that evening. Okay, what they had this morning here was minus 24 with the wind chill.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever get used to that, Don.
Well, it's been about 35 years since I've had to put up with it, and it's rough. I'll tell you what, the guys that are doing the snow plowing, they've been doing a real good job around my area. But we've had 36 trucks that have been bashed into by people who are not paying attention. For some reason, there's 36 trucks now that are out of commission. They got to fix them. So people, I mean, I understand what you're saying down there. People do know how to drive up here in this, but still, there's still that select few that like I say, there's 36 trucks right now that are out of commission because they're getting repaired because people ran into them. I don't know why whatever they were doing, I don't know.
Who knows? It's good to know, even though it's terrible, that idiots driving is universal. It's not just here.
Right. A couple of things I wanted to talk about, if I may. Number one, I expected Donald Trump to do this, and I'm glad to hear that all the libs are going crazy because that means he's over the target.
Boy, absolutely. Good call on that.
Okay. And my second one was I know that Grandpa Joe, whatever you want to call him now, Goodbye Joe, he did a preliminary or preempt or whatever he did, but these people are still going to get called before Senate or House hearings, and now they can't plead the fifth, correct?
I don't know. Once again, we live in such bizarre times that I don't know. Like I said, I'd never seen a preemptive pardon before without charges being filed. So,
well, they've never done it. This is what they've been talking about up here. I found a radio station up here I listen to. It's not as good as yours, but what they say, these people that have got these pardons, they still can be called before like the Senate hearing or House hearing. Now, they're not liable for criminal prosecution because they've already been pardoned, that means that anyway, that's a different version of pardon from what I understand. But now from what I can ascertain is they have to tell the truth now. They can't plead the fifth, and they have to tell the truth. And now they are liable for perjury. There'd be another criminal charge. So I'm kind of waiting for that to come. No, go ahead.
But to your point, first of all, absolutely, you bring them before, you call them to testify. They're supposed to tell the truth, but they can lie. They can lie as much as they want because they've been pardoned for what? They got a blanket pardon. So I don't know what that means. So can you prosecute them for lying, or are they pardoned? So that's my whole point is we're in such uncharted territory, but your point is still valid. You force them in front of Congress and make them answer questions and make them lie under oath or, make them do what they're going to do. So then that way you have a pretty good gauge on where it is and what's going on.
That's my perception right there. They may not be able to prosecute them, but see, none of them were charged with any crimes. They were just blanket pardoned.
Yeah.
So they already know what they did, and I believe that the investigators are going to go through, put together a good case, and so if they catch them in a lie, we're going to have a different Department of Justice now with Pam Bondi. I like her a lot. She's tough. Yeah. So maybe they'll go ahead now and say, okay, we may not be able to put you in jail for crimes that you were pardoned for what? Well, now we're going to find out, and I hope some heads will roll. I mean, I like what Donald Trump's doing right out of the gate. Just hit the ground, running. Okay?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyway, well, I got just one more thing. You guys try to stay warm down there.
Well, it's a lot better now than it was yesterday, that's for sure.
Well, like I say, the same snow has been on our handrail now for about a month, still there. It's just too cold to snow up here. So anyway, I'm going to listen to your podcast tomorrow for the rest of today. So tell everybody that's on hold, hi, everybody. Anyway, thank you. Actually, I'll talk to you later. I'm planning on coming back down.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about that. So
right,
you have a good one,
good.
and all your callers. Just love you guys, miss you. And, I'll talk to you next time, okay?
All right, sounds good, Don. Thank you very much. And you stay warm up there. It's... Man, you've got the crazy cold up there, and we've been trying to stay warm down here. So appreciate the phone call and stay warm up there in Ohio. And like I said, that'd be nice if you come back and visit or whatever. I mean, like I said, if you move back, I know, boy, you dealt with a lot of the heat in these summers, and working outdoors is tough. Like I said, I don't know if I can handle the kind of cold you're dealing with right now. But you know what? In many ways, when it comes mid-August, I'm dreaming about it. I'd much rather have that kind of cool, weather than the heat we have here.
You're right. Well, that's what I'm going through right now. And I'm happy to be up here. I'm around family, and I'm just doing so good. I'm actually working inside, but it's still, you got to go from the house to the car, to the car to the house,
Yeah.
So,
but being inside is a whole lot better.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, Don. Appreciate it. All right, so there you go. Now we're over. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back and then get more of your phone calls if you want to join us. You heard what it's like up in Ohio. It's colder and snow. It's going to stay colder up there. But once again, it's kind of supposed to be colder up there. We're not supposed to have the kind of weather we have down here that we've had last day or two. So, but I think it's pretty much over. I don't know if we'll get any more. The reality is we usually get a cold blast during, February as well. So we'll get some more cold blasts. I just don't think we'll get another, snowpocalypse like this. Usually we only get about one every so often. So, but yeah, clearly the grid held up and those things. So everything else held up pretty good. So All right, let's take a break. If you want to join us, 281-558-KSEV. That's 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. We're just getting rolling. Hour number one. We're only about halfway through. We still got hour number 2 to go as well. So, yeah, we got lots to get into. And I want to know how you did down here. We heard from Don up there in Ohio. You guys doing okay with the snowpocalypse down here? Actually, I didn't mind the snowpocalypse at all. You know, a day of snow and then it melts off. That's cool. It was cool watching it come in. I know I didn't get any sleep that night. I was watching all the snow come in and then kept checking things. And so far, it looks like, knock on wood, no burst pipes or anything. In fact, I haven't seen anything remotely. Everybody was so much more well-prepared for this one, which is good. That's supposed to be. 281-558-KSEV. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
ChrisXradio.
Plumbing emergencies never happen at a convenient time. Nix Plumbing offers free estimates and free second opinions. Call Nix Plumbing and Sewer Services, 713-868-9907, or visit us on the web, nixplumbing.com.
MPL 38548.
For many years, the Pine Box has been helping families gain insight into the often confusing and extremely expensive task of arranging a loved one's funeral. I have worked with Pine Box in the death of 2 family members because I know I can trust Chip Beresford at the Pine Box, he's the owner, to be sure that he walks me through that process and that I am prepared for the funeral and that I get the quality I seek without breaking the budget. Because it's a very difficult thing. No one wants to feel like a cheapskate handling a funeral of a loved one. But you also can't afford to go broke either. You know, funerals are statistically the 3rd largest expense in someone's life. The Pine Box sells the same caskets and funeral merchandise that is offered at funeral homes, but at a tremendous savings, and delivery is immediate and free within the Houston area. Visit their website, thepinebox.com, or call Chip directly at 1-888-PINE-BOX. That's 1-888-PINE-BOX. I trusted them, and you can. The Pine Box.
Hello, friends. Let's be honest. Every business says they're better, but the ones that earn the prestigious BBB seal back it up. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And it instantly identifies reputable businesses you can trust. So look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org. That's bbb.org.
The voice of Texas. The voice of reason. ChrisXradio.
ChrisXradio. I'm the aforementioned X-Man. Along with Captain Jack, we are rocking and rolling. We have this segment and one more, and then we'll kick into hour number 2. So if you want to join us here on your Ice-pocalypse day, it's not really apocalypse. Actually, this has been so much better on so many levels than the February 2021, the Valentine's Day. You guys remember that? The Valentine's, that was an Ice-pocalypse. I remember we were down below freezing for, what was it, like 7 days? And I do remember this. I remember the power went out and was out for like 4 days. This time my power didn't go out until today. And it was an issue in my neighborhood. So there's only like 35, 40 houses without power or something. And it was only from like 11 until like 3:30 or something today. So it wasn't nearly as bad as the others. But how did you guys do in your area? Did you keep power? Everything good? The grid seems to be fine. No issues whatsoever. Watching every weather event come on now, and every person goes, all the media. The best thing, okay. Hold on. 281-558-KSEV if you want to join us. 281-558-5738. I'm kind of all over the place today, but I've not been able to do the show yesterday. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about. So watching the lamestream media, I watched the weather. One, just to see what's going on. Basically, all I saw on the weather was updates from the, quote, meteorologist, who did pretty good. I'll give them credit this time. Usually they can't tell you one day from the next, but once again, those on the left, they'll give you weather for the next 10,000 years. So there's that. All I saw was a bunch of reporters playing in the snow with a bunch of children. I saw that, making fools out of themselves. It's okay to go have a little good time every now and then. I'm cool with that. That's fine. But what was great was it was the little tiny snippets of news, because that's all the woke garbage. And I saw it a little bit here and there. They would show it for just a minute or two, and then they're back to weather. So it was great actually watching, quote unquote, local news that wasn't just shoving garbage down our throats. So that was actually good. But I was just really watching the weather. I didn't care about any of the other stuff. So there's that element of it. So that's good. And then now it's hilarious. As soon as the weather sort of moderates, and I'm checking my phone as well on the internet. I always do, but I also like to kind of, when it comes to the meteorologist, look at their maps and what they're doing and the way they're reading it. But overall, they called this pretty good. It wasn't nearly as bad, but I think that was from the preparation. The preparation and people taking heed and staying off the roads helped a lot. There's still idiots driving, and they caused wrecks like they always do. But overall, the vast majority of people were smart enough and stayed off the icy roads. So that's good. So that was excellent. But while all this was going on, there's still a country happening. Something that just kind of flew below the radar. Did you see that Marco Rubio got confirmed? He's the first confirmation for Trump's appointments. 99-0. Not one person voted against the confirmation of Marco Rubio. And I don't know if you've seen his recent TV hits, but the dude is crushing it. He goes on this and hammers these lefties. Absolutely hammered. Was it CNN or MSDNC or NBC, or they're all the same propaganda? But he absolutely hammered them on illegal immigration. They were trying to hammer him on saying, well, is it possible to deport 10 million people? Because 10 million people, because that's how many people have come in under Biden alone in the last 3 years. Those are outdated numbers. He says I was upset about that when we were talking about, years ago. That's the numbers that I was going off then before Biden came into office and then imported that many more people. So he's been actually I think I think Rubio is going to be a good Secretary of State. I think he's going to be excellent. He's a smart guy. He knows the media game. He's gotten very good at it. And he's very articulate. I don't agree with him on every issue, but that needs to be thrown out the window. That we should never even have to mutter that. If you find somebody that you agree with on every issue, consider yourself blessed. I've never found that human being. But I think Marco's going to do very well. He is clearly on board with MAGA and the Trump agenda. So that's good. That means he's right where we want him to be, and if he stays there, bam, we're good. And I accidentally said Pete a second ago. Pete Hegseth has gone through one of the process on the update. He's 53-45, so he's advancing. So it looks like he will go. Notably on that one is there's only one Democrat voted to approve Pete Hegseth so far, and that's John Fetterman, Mr. Shorts and Hoodie himself. Fetterman is a weird dude, but he is. And somebody sent me an article saying that he was going to, flip over to the Republican Party. I don't see that happening. He's a liberal Democrat. But oddly enough, he seems to be the only one that got the treatment and his brain is functioning. Because the rest of them are just clueless. But it'll be interesting. So it looks like Pete's probably will go on to be confirmed, as will most, if not all. There's no way they can be all of them, right? Most, if not all, of Trump nominations are going to get confirmed. And that's exactly what we want. Boy, and Trump is steamrolling. All right, let's go and take another break, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. If you want to join us, 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. If you're out on the roads, be careful. It is still a little icy. Depends on where you're going. But when you're crossing bridges or overpasses, you need to be careful. Unless it's one of the lucky ones, it's not frozen. A lot of them still have ice on them. So you got to be very careful. Okay, 281-558-KSEV. I'm Chris X. Let's take a break. We'll come back, wrap up this first hour, and get you locked and loaded for hour number 2. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Chris X Radio, AM 700, KSEV.
Legally Max Income Tax reminds all motorists that each year thousands of people die or are seriously injured because of a reckless driver. When on the road, remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Legally Max Income Tax, serving our area with pride and integrity. For all your professional tax services, call 832-402-0952. That's 832-402-0952. Legally Max Income Tax, on the air because they care.
Hi, folks. Dan Patrick here. Beautiful and healthy trees increase your property value, but sick, ugly trees will decrease the value of your home. That's why I recommend you call Ability Tree Experts at 281-441-4179. Caring for the beautiful and valuable trees on your property that you can replace. That's why you need to call my friend Louis Flory and Ability Tree Experts. I've known them for over 40 years. Gosh, this guy is the pro when it comes to taking care of trees. Well-fed and pruned tree will be less susceptible to wind damage and uprooting. You know, pruning is important for the health of your trees and allows the sun and fresh air into the canopy. Trees can be in distress several months without showing any signs. So don't wait to protect your investment. Call Louis Flory now at 281-441-4179, 281-441-4179, or visit their website at abilitytrees.com. Right now, receive a deep root feeding with every tree prune. That's Ability Tree Experts. Ability Tree, Houston's leading tree care professional.
Let's be honest, no one ever thinks about their garage until it stops working. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage is noisy or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repairs. Recommended all over Houston, Garage Door Doctor is your trusted partner for all your garage door needs. Let the experts at Garage Door Doctor tune up your garage door and keep it running for a lifetime. Schedule an appointment today at garagedoordoctor.biz or call today.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our Better Blue Pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our Better Blue Pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the Better Blue Pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
ChrisXradio.
Welcome back to Chris X Radio. You've reached the final segment of the first hour, but don't you go anywhere. I'm the aforementioned X-Man, along with Captain Jack. We're just getting you locked and loaded for hour number 2 here on your, I don't know, is this day 1 of the new ice age? Yesterday was Snowpocalypse, which was kind of cool, man, getting 3 or 4 inches of snow. And it stayed on the ground for a while. And then once the sun came out, it started melting off. So hopefully as things have warmed up yesterday and today, there you go, we'll be done with it for a little while. It looks like temperatures are going to warm up here through the weekend as we get rolling and then get back to the normal weather we have. But, hey, don't be surprised if we don't get another few really cold freezes. It's going to freeze again tonight, later on around 10 or so. So those wet areas out on the roads now are going to turn into ice again. But then I think after that, tomorrow and the rest of the week, I think we're good to go. And it's already Trump Day. It's Hump Day. So tomorrow will be our Friday show on Thursday, and then we'll turn it over to the Amigos on Friday because they take over every Friday from 4 to 6 with El Senador, the ringleader, along with the judge he's been in therapy. So, no, it's not the therapy you'd think. He needs the John Fetterman therapy. But, no, it's not that. He actually broke his leg, and they're working on that. So, Godspeed to the judge. Let's hope he has a quick recovery and gets back in time. But meantime, you just got Stru with a View pulling double duty, and it's better that way, at least. I'm sorry, in my opinion. All right, so during the break, somebody called in and was saying they weren't happy with Trump with the artificial intelligence company called Stargate. So, first of all, I don't know a lot about this. Is dealing with the tech industry, but basically, Trump announced this $100 billion project alongside OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and Oracle chairman Larry Ellison, signifying Trump's relationship here with big tech, they say. Now, according to Newsweek, they reached out to the White House for more information by email. Guess they hadn't heard back, really. But this is something that, Elon Musk has expressed some hesitation. I don't know, but this dealing with AI, this is something that we're going to have to deal with. Whether we like it or not, AI is here. And it's only going to build all of these Terminator movies and all this other stuff. Basically, that is of course, a science fiction rendition of reading the tea leaves, if you will. So AI is coming. AI is already here. Now, but we're dealing with a level of AI that's getting very interesting. Will it ever be to the level they do it in these movies and other things? I don't know. I think so. Not that I'm saying we're going to be attacked by AI, but look at the technological advance we've had over the last 100 years in this country. Hell, look at the technological advance we've had over the last 50 and 30 years, If you'd asked me 30 years ago if I thought I'd be carrying around a little computer in my pocket, that I had more computing power than the astronauts had when they went to the moon, I would have told you you're crazy. But we're not crazy. We all have it now. So there's that going on. But that doesn't negate what's going on. Anyway, Stargate is this new project designed to maintain the U.S. as a global leader in AI. Realize if we don't embrace that, our adversaries, hopefully our allies, will. But our adversaries definitely will. And there's many people that believe right now there's somebody else, non-human, that has already embraced this and is here right now. And the more we learn about this, the more, accuracy, not all about accurate, but the more validity that may have, which is bizarre. Anyway, so it's backed by about a $500 billion investment over the next 4 years. And we can talk about that more here in hour number 2. You're listening to Chris X Radio. We'll be right back.